It's
I don't think
crazy.
anyone's claiming them.
I think it's crazy how different two games can make you feel. What's up, everybody? I am the talented Mr. Taco here at the Daily Sporting with Ricky on to do another Nets versus Bucks game recap preview setup. We just finished seeing Game 4, where the Milwaukee Bucks tied the series at 2 games apiece, defeating the Brooklyn Nets 107-96. One player that we did see go out in this game was Kyrie Irving, as he did suffer an ankle injury. Steve Nash was recently interviewed and asked a question about this, and we're gonna play Steve real quick, and then we'll go from there. So just
Kai, the X-rays were negative, but we'll have to see how it goes tomorrow and further tests and treatment. Obviously we lost a great player during the game, which was tough. We didn't play particularly well. I thought we had a pretty good start. The level dropped a little bit. They got going on some transition breakdowns. They started getting 3 balls going and some offensive rebounds, some 50-50s, and got a little separation before the half. And then we struggled in the second half. So, we missed him, obviously, but it was a big adjustment tonight to play without him and James. But, that we've had that type of year. So we got to find a way to figure it out, to look at the tape and get better.
And I think, that was a great summation of what happened in this game by Steve Nash. And I'll throw it to you, Ricky. What do you make of this injury, and what do you think about the Nets for Game 5?
Well, one, like you said, what different feel, right? 2 games later.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy thing, most people, are saying is that they were 12 seconds from being 3-0. And Irving injury, as much as we're hurt, if he eventually came back, I would expect KD to win 1 game by himself. He was up 3-0, right? So it's a completely different field. The Kyrie Irving injuries, maybe hopefully they get good news. But if it's not that bad, it doesn't look so bad because it's 3-0. We think KD can get 1. Now it's different. Now it's 2-2. Milwaukee basically, they smell blood in the water, And if they're sharks, if Giannis is the shark, the beast that he is talking, he has to end this. Leave no doubt. You're not coming back. Irving's not to me. It's a must win for Milwaukee to come back from this 2-2. To be honest with you, you cannot give KD any hope that I just beat you. I'm up 3-2. Okay, I bet my money on me that I'll be able to beat you 1 or the next 2, and then you beating me 2 more times. So to me, it's a must win for Milwaukee. As crazy that sounds, because if they lose, it's more damaging. Like if Nets lose, hey, we know this is going to be a battle, right? KD, no, but they would think, to me, if Milwaukee loses, that would be bad.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is, we just seen Milwaukee. Basically, this series, everyone's done what they were supposed to do. You're supposed to win at home. A series does not start until someone wins on the road. Right. Because think about it. If you're the higher seed, you're supposed to win. Because you're the higher seed. You have 4 games at home. The other guy has 3 games at home. You do your job. You go home with the series win. Now the Bucks got to get 1 on the road. And if you're looking at a game to get, this is the game to get. You don't know what's going on, Kyrie. James Harden information has been little to none. You're not sitting in a situation where, you can't go home down 3-2, and then you're finding out that Kyrie is coming back and expecting to pull that out. That becomes a very nightmarish situation for the Bucks. And if you look at how they've handled pressure, I think throughout this series and throughout their history, it's not a situation you want to be with them. They have to win this game. They need to put pressure onto the Nets. They need to make these guys have to come back into Game 6, and maybe they re-aggravate an injury or something like that. But you need to make them have to play everyone Game 6. You need to make them have to come into your home and have to go all out in order to win this series. Because let's face it, Kevin Durant is a phenomenal generational player. But can he beat a team like this by himself? I don't know about that.
So the question, and like I said, I brought it up. If the Nets are down 3-0 and this happens, I mean, the Bucks are down 3-0 and then Kyrie happens, and let's say Kyrie said, we're not coming back. Harden, look, I don't expect Harden to come back this series. He looks like he's slowly progressing, right? Look, Kyrie Irving's ankle looked bad. That looked like it touched the side of it, touched the ground.
Yeah.
It looked bad. I don't expect him to come back. So what I'm saying to you is KD, you're telling me if they're down 3-0, he's not able to get one game out of the next 4?
It's tough, but yeah, that's
you don't think he can pull off one win?
That's a better shot than him trying to get 2. I agree with that.
No, I get it. But if like you just said, this is the KD gets this, because to me, I expect KD to go off. Again, he was defending good. He shot well. I expect him to go off. He needs to get 40 to even have a shot at winning.
And let's face it, Kevin Durant's going to come out there looking for 40 in that next game if he's the only one there.
Yeah.
But my thing about that is I don't think Blake Griffin, we saw he didn't come back in the third quarter after he had an injury. If you're telling me Blake is gone and you're telling me Harden is gone.
To me, is this: if Blake is there, Kyrie's gone.
Well, if Blake didn't come back, if Blake was healthy, he would have been in the second half of this game. You didn't have Blake, you didn't have Kyrie, you didn't have Harden. If you're missing all 3 of those guys and you're telling me KD is going to put on his back and win the series, oh my God!
So to me, if Blake is back,
well, let's assume he's not because he didn't come back in this game.
Well,
we can't assume that Blake is back if he doesn't come back in this game.
Maybe they just because they said, "Listen, Kyrie's gone. We're going to lose this game." Or whatever.
I mean, they wouldn't say that at halftime because he didn't come back after halftime.
You would, you're right. Maybe they don't, but I'm just saying maybe they just knew, like, hey, listen, we're in a bad situation now. My thing is KD. I'm not saying he can win the series, but to me he has to put up this next game. He has to try to pull this win out to give his team any chance of hope of coming of stealing this year. Because yes, you're right. He's not going to win in Milwaukee, and it's going to be very impossible if he tries to play. But if he can at least get one, and Milwaukee just comes here, stomps him out in Brooklyn, and then wins in Milwaukee, I don't know that. My biggest thing with KD, he's phenomenal, like you said, all around. My problem is Aaron Harden. He's a facilitator, right? He gets the ball everywhere. Kyrie doesn't do that. And KD doesn't do that. So the issue I have with KD going to series is he now has to make sure Joe Harris hits the shot, gets his ball. KD's not going to be looking for that, and he hasn't never been the facilitator in getting other people involved, and that's what he's going to have to do to try.
He can do it, but again, he is more of like a Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, where I'm looking to score more.
No, I'm with you. He's the type of guy that tells he's like, listen, I'm not looking to. I'm going to get my points, 40 or whatever I'm going to do. But what I'm saying to you, that's not going to work if he doesn't get anyone else involved. Harden was this. I'm sorry, Harden would get everyone involved. Bob throwing 15 assists. He will get everyone involved. Joe Harris will get his shot because of Harden. That's not going to happen with Durant, and Durant can't win like this. Not with no one else putting in buckets.
I mean, KD can get the others involved, but yes, he does need another playmaker that's going to come out there and help him out. The problem with the James Harden is he doesn't score in the clutch. So, while he would be good at assisting in the playmaking in playoffs, we haven't seen Harden be able to carry the load.
No, that's a fair criticism. I'm just saying he would get other ones involved.
And I do think that if the Nets have all 3 stars, the Bucks don't stand a chance. If the Nets have 2 stars,
they don't have a chance
with KD and one of the other guys there. Then it's a battle. Then it's Nets and Bucks battling to see who wins the series.
No, I disagree. That if it's, I told you from the beginning, as long as it's not KD, any of those 2, any KD and combination of those 2 are gonna beat the Bucks. That 2-0, I get it. They came back. KD missed the shot. It was 10 seconds or whatever seconds left.
But he missed the shot. And then this was the game where it was a game. They could have lost this game. They could have won this game.
Yeah, this was an important one for the Nets. If Kyrie doesn't get hurt and they still lose, and that's a big statement by the Bucks coming back to it.
And it was looking like that. And overall, I'm gonna say that's a toss-up. These games with having 2 of the Nets stars versus the full Bucks thing, that's more of an even matchup that we'll see, right? If it's just KD and he doesn't have Harden and KD doesn't have Kyrie. This is a tall task that is honestly going to be asking too much in this guy. When you think about if Giannis is playing like this, 14 of 26, he's attacking the paint, he's running in transition, he's moving down the court, and he's getting involved early. That is a tough task. If you're going to tell me Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to shoot 14 of 26 from the field, he's going to take it to the rack. He's
but on the flip side of that, Steve, look what the shooting was for Durant. Look for Joe Harris and even Kyrie in Game 4, and they had a chance to win in the last 10 seconds. And that shooting, you're never going to get that from Durant. You're never going to get that from Durant. Here's the thing. You're not going to get that from Joe Harris either. Joe Harris was the best three-pointer shooter.
The Bucks only had 89 points in that game. The Bucks are not going to consistently hit under 20% or hit 25% on their threes, and that's what they did in the first 3 games of the series. Even in that game that they won in Game 3, they didn't shoot good from three-point. This is the first time that they actually shot close to their season percentage.
I get it, but what I'm saying
you gotta understand, this is a team in the regular season that shot 39% from 3, and if they're shooting 20% from 3 from now, that's a huge disparity.
I get it,
so
but
if they come back to hitting 35% from the field, I understand everything you're telling me, but it's a different.
Here's the difference, Steve. That 107 is closer to what they could do, right? Normally, averagely,
right?
They should be doing
the whole series. 89 the 2 games before that.
I get, I get it. What I'm saying to you is they did what they normally do. The Bucks. What I'm saying to you is the Nets were significantly under the points, and it was directly because of those 3 guys could not get fucking shots off. They could not. Look at the shots. You're not going to get that from Kyrie. You're not going to get that from Kevin Durant. You're not even going to get that from Joe Harris again. And they still only won that 4th game with 10 seconds.
You're saying Game 3. In Game 3, but they scored 89 points, the Bucks. Everything you're saying is valid, but the Bucks also had a bad game. You can't tell me that you expect the Bucks to shoot 20% from the 3-point range all series. You can't tell me that's what you expect the Bucks to do.
I'm not expecting, but what I'm saying to you is you're never going to expect what Kevin Durant shot that. You're not your top 3 offensive players of the game.
Didn't even do that.
All that shooting at the same time. And the thing is, Steve, even with all that, they still were able to win that game within the last time. And Kevin Durant hits that, I don't see Milwaukee coming back and winning that shot. I don't. That's a shot Kevin Durant usually hits in his sleep. He was off, beyond off, and Kyrie was off. So it was a mixture of your top 3 players not there, not hitting. Look at that. 9 for 25.
That was today.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go back to the other one. Well, we saw the other one.
I'm trying to get.
But bad. It was bad, Steve. That's what I'm saying to you. And they still only lost within the last seconds. And a shot Durant makes in his sleep.
Yes, but I think the thing that we're really not mentioning here, we're acting like, is that the Bucks are this horrible team.
I'm not. No one said horrible.
Because
no one said. No, I'm not saying horrible.
Here's what I'm saying.
Right or not? When they lost the first 2, you did not expect Milwaukee to. And
I told you, horrible.
You were surprised even, and I said, "Why are you surprised?"
But the Bucks. Here's the thing: the Bucks have played horrible. They have played as bad as you can get. The Bucks have played garbage basketball in this game where the Nets played garbage. So did they. They shot 37%.
But look what.
They shot 19% from 3. They shot worse than the Nets did from 3. This is a team that shot 39% during the season. I get what you're saying about the Nets, but no one's understanding how much the Bucks are not playing
if the Nets were off, if the Bucks were off that day, the Nets were really off that day.
How? Look at this. They shot worse. They shot worse. But
from what the Nets normally go to the top 3 players out there and show me the things.
11 for 28 for
that's horrible for him.
Durant did worse in this game.
He was averaging 50%. Stop it.
I agree with you.
What are you talking about? That was beyond horrible.
Dude, averaging 50%
the first 2 games.
Him averaging 50% is phenomenal. It's great. But let's be honest, that you cannot.
And look at Kyrie. 9 for 22.
Look at this. Look at this.
Look, again, no.
9 of 25. He actually did worse in today's game than he did in the other game.
But today's game, it was different circumstances.
You're right. You're
it
right.
It was both of them on the court. And look what Joe Harris did. 1 for 11. One of the best 3-point. So again, you can't go and the net and the Bucks.
You cannot come at it and say whatchamacallit. Holiday 1 for 4. PJ Tucker 0 for 3. Middleton went only 3 for 6, 12 of 25. He's the only guy going off.
And they still won. So what does that tell you? How bad the Nets played?
But
if they still
here's what I'm not comprehending here. The Bucks shot worse. The Bucks shot worse. They shot 19% from 3. This is a team that shot 39% from the season. So they shot worse. They played worse. They had a worse game. How? Like, I get the Nets' big 3 didn't do good.
No, that's not what you get.
And they did worse.
Not what
so this is a game the Bucks shouldn't have won either. But
what I'm saying, they did because the Nets play. They
didn't play worse.
Their top 3. When your top 3 don't shoot like the way they shoot, that percentage means nothing because you gave it to some bum who hit 1 for 1 or 2 for 2.
But that's the same thing with the fucking Bucks. Drew Holiday went 4 for 14.
Yeah, but we saw what the Nets do when they're on point. They win by 39 points. It's not even close.
But that's when KD is hitting over 50% from 3 with contested shots. Let's be realistic. In the history of the NBA, that is an unsustainable percentage. If you're hitting over 40% from 3, you're considered really good.
You don't win by a team by 39 points. You just don't. I'm sorry. Not when you're in the top 4 in the NBA. You're 1 game away from getting to the 2 games away, 2 series away from getting to the NBA. You lose by 39 in the game.
That was a game the Nets were absolutely on fire. I don't know why you think about that as that's what the average Nets are. That was an on fire game. That wasn't. That's not their average.
That to me is that's how much better they are than Milwaukee. With Kyrie Irving or Harden, they're not even Milwaukee. Even with they lose today, almost to me. They lose today. If Kyrie Irving stays in the game, they lose today.
That was debatable. I mean, if
again, you pointed out Durant shoot for 925, and they were still in the game. But Kyrie comes back
in the second quarter. The Bucks pulled away. That is right around the time that Irving does go out. You got to see it was a battle. It was a 3-point game in the regular season when it was just the 2 of them. The Bucks won 2 games. In the playoffs, right now it was 2-1 going into that game. Game 3 was a battle, and they pulled it off. So yes, the Nets don't normally shoot that bad, but the Bucks had a horrible shooting game as well. And yes, I thought the Bucks were going to win it coming in early. The way the Nets looked so good at home made you really question it. And then if it would have been a situation where even if the Nets lost this game, you had Kyrie Irving coming back, you would feel confident about it going back into Brooklyn because your role players are going to play a little bit better. Everyone should have an elevated game. Now that we're talking about no Kyrie and possibly no James Harden, must win for the Bucks. You put a ton of pressure on them, and you could possibly get this series now. Now it comes down to
they have to win this game, Steve.
They have
to. You cannot give KD any hope that he could win this series.
And not only that, if you're Giannis Antetokounmpo, you better shut the hell up if you don't win that game.
Oh my God,
that's for your legacy. Because Giannis, there's one thing that we could say about Giannis. He was a 2-time MVP. He's a guy that's PER wise, everyone is in love with. He's a basketball player, statistical analyst's dream. Because he could do so much for you. But right now, if he doesn't come and deliver, you have to really evaluate where you put him.
Yeah, I mean, he's not in my top 5, so that was from before.
I mean,
I don't have him in my top 5.
I guess it just really just depends on like what you're looking for because it's hard to find 5 guys. I mean, you probably put the 3 Nets guys ahead of him.
That's
knowing you, but I mean, honestly, I think
I maybe not Kyrie.
But I it's hard.
I wouldn't put Kyrie in front of Giannis.
So like you could say that maybe it's Kawhi, LeBron, KD.
Kawhi, LeBron, KD, Harden to me is better than Giannis. And I play Djokovic.
No, I can't. Like Djokovic is good, but and he's solid. But
I put Steph Curry over Giannis.
I can't put Steph Curry over.
I put Steph Curry down. I'd rather have Steph Curry. From younger, forget about it. I have Steph Curry. Right now, I probably still take Steph Curry. Probably not because he's so much older, but still.
Because here's the thing: when Giannis Antetokounmpo, I think Giannis Antetokounmpo needs to play more center and just have the pieces around him. He is an effective rim protector. He's a great rebounder. He can bring the ball in transition. If they use Giannis the right way, Giannis is a player that is absolutely scary because look at this. He can shoot 14 for 26. And if you saw what he was doing, he was getting into the lane, he was attacking the basket, and he's getting his points. So I definitely think that this is going to be something.
Listen, Giannis has no excuses now.
Now
no excuses.
This is not going to be a series now where you're going to say and look at Kevin Durant, but like, what did you do, Kevin Durant? If Giannis comes and does what he's supposed to do, you really can't even look at Kevin Durant because it's like, Kevin, okay, you guys are down, and Giannis took advantage. That's what
I would hope to see that Kevin Durant can win one game. I don't expect him to win the series. It's a tall task, but yeah, I would like to see him win one game and make Milwaukee really think about what are we doing?
Yep.
Even if it's like next game that they come back and tie it in Game 7, you know what? Hey, Game 7, Brooklyn. Okay.
Well, Brooklyn got to win one of the next two to get to Game 7.
No, that's what I'm saying. To me, it's weird. Like I said, I think it's a must-win for Giannis, even though I think it's a must-win for KD, of course. But to me, it's more important to Giannis.
Game 5 is going to be insane. Everyone needs it. Everyone needs it. Because, I mean, if you're KD, you're like, I don't know what's going on with my guys. This is my last shot home. This is the last time my role players are going to get that boost. Because if I lose this game and I'm going on the road to Milwaukee, not having my guys, I'm probably not coming back. And then Giannis, he's looking on the other side like, I can't not win this game without them missing their guys because for all I know, Game 6, both Harden and Kyrie could just show up.
To me, KD, he must be thinking, hey, listen, win this game. I could lose the next one. I give myself a shot at Game 7. Hey, if I get one of them back, great. If I don't, hey, you know what? Game 7, let's see who's really here. Let's see who came to play here.
Yep. This game 5 was everything for the series.
But again, for me, it's more for Giannis. Because for Giannis to lose this game, and then KD has 2 shots, even without one of his boys, he already won one.
But that's why. That's
a punch to the mouth. I don't know if Milwaukee's ready to take.
You're right, but also if you look at the other end, if Milwaukee goes into Brooklyn's house, they take this game, and you're looking at 200 guys.
You're expected to do that. You're expected to do that.
I understand that, but now the pressure that's going to be on in Game 6. So KD doesn't want to lose a series.
No, I get it, but right now, the more pressure is on Milwaukee.
I think it's equal pressure.
No, because a lot of people are expecting KD to lose. It's up
to that the guy, but that's not what KD expects.
No, I'm not saying he does. Of course,
that's what I'm saying. The pressure is going to be equal.
But to me, no. To me, the pressure is KD just has to go. If I do what I do, we'll see the chips lay. If not, I'm gonna have to pull one out in Milwaukee. But to me, for Giannis to lose and then come back home and answer questions of, hey, you're in elimination from Milwaukee. He lost 2 of his best players. And you can't, at full strength, you couldn't beat him. And now he has 2 chances to eliminate you. Yep. The pressure from there on in, forget about it. KD will be, all right, I'm playing with house money.
Yep. If I'm the Nets, I'm praying that James Harden, like if Kyrie needs a couple games, at least please James Harden be ready.
No, James Harden, I would expect Kyrie to be more if they could twist something on his ankle. But that looked bad. But maybe it didn't go as bad.
And honestly, like James has been out. There's been no word about him, so we just don't know with Harden. We have no clue.
I mean, you heard little things today in the game saying, "Hey, it's so slow." Like the coach said, I think it was the coach or Nash said, he's slowly recovering.
Yeah, but it also could be they're slow playing it, but we don't know.
Yeah,
it's a playoffs. Yeah. Sometimes they double speak. Sometimes they talk out the side of their mouth.
Yeah.
But we'll find out. This game is going to be happening on Tuesday. It's going to be a big time matchup. We'll be covering it, and it'll be fun. All right, Ricky. Before we go, I guess we have you on the Milwaukee. Milwaukee's winning that game.
You know what? I'm going to say the Nets KD pulls one game out right now.
All right. So you got KD winning, even if he doesn't have Harden.
Even if he doesn't have Harden or Irving. He scores like 45 something points, and somehow the other guys just show up. Just, hey, do what you got to do. I think the Nets might be pull out this one. I think KD is mad enough after what happened today. He looked pissed on the floor. As much as you can't really tell when KD's mad, you could, but it looked like he was not happy about what the hell was going on.
And if that's the case, I agree with you. And it'll go down as an all-time great playoff game for KD and a legacy builder for him. So I'm down for that. I like the way that sounds, but we're going to have to tune in and find out. We'll be giving you a recap of Game 5 pretty much after the game. I want to say sometime that night or the next morning, Wednesday morning. But until then, I'm the talented Mr. Taco. That's Ricky. We are the Daily Sporting. We hope you guys enjoy. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Let us know what you think about this game. How do you think it's going to turn out? Who do you think is going to step up big? Is this a game where Blake Griffin comes up big time for the Nets and actually gives us a flashback game? That'll be something that, the Nets can hope for. And maybe Joe Harris can, get a little hot for them, because that's also a big difference maker. So, we're definitely going to have to see. And until then, we are out. Peace.
Hey, David and Taco, they bring the heat. All about UFC, way more than a fantasy. Let's see who going toe to toe. Throw down on the mat, check the replay, run it back. We gotta check the stats. Hey, do this every day. We ain't come to play. This is sports talk, and we love talking MMA. Everything fantasy sports. Dopest show that I know. With Electric Dave and talented Mr. Taco. Let's go. Hey, yeah.